Hi, Mike. Happy birthday. I feel really lucky to have had you as a mentor early in my career.
Happy birthday, Mike. Really enjoyed working with you on both Streambase and Vertica. You are an exceptional entrepreneur, a brilliant technologist, and a stubborn, shall we say, steadfast visionary. Happy birthday.
I met Mike Stonebraker at the High Performance Transaction Processing Workshop at Asilomar, California in 2001. At the time, I was a first-year assistant professor at Carnegie Mellon, and I was sitting with my laptop looking at the slides that I had, trying to decide whether I should go up there and give a talk or not. It was a gong show session, the one that invites impromptu talks. And Mike sat next to me. We were drinking port wine in these evening sessions. And Mike sat next to me with a glass of port, and we got to talking. And he said, you should go and give a talk. I was already thinking a little bit about it, but the fact that Mike said it made it a necessity. So I started putting together the slides, and at some point, Mike, who was watching over my shoulder, took my computer and started changing the slides and throwing away stuff and moving things around. And he gave me the computer back and said, "Okay, now go give the talk." I was so overwhelmed, I will never forget it. I went up there and gave, I don't know if it was because of the port wine or it was because Mike Stonebraker had just, refurbished my slides for me. I gave probably the best talk of my life, that 5-minute little poster session. Ever since, Mike has been a great mentor and a great, very honest friend. And thank you, Mike, for everything. Happy birthday.
Mike, it's a real pleasure to wish you a happy birthday today. It's been nearly 30 years since we first met, and I think it was at Wisconsin in front of a whiteboard, and you were asking me about triggers, role engines, all that good stuff, and how this deductive piece work was going to apply to it. Looking back over those 30 years, it's just amazing to me, the energy, the leadership, and just the prescience you have shown in picking problems of great technical interest, practical importance, not to mention translating them into one startup after another. You've been a real dynamo and an inspiration, not just to one of us, but to all of us. So, happy birthday. Enjoy it. Take care.
The Mike barometer. So if you're in a meeting with Mike and you see him slowly slide down because he's getting bored and more bored with the speaker or the topic or whatever, when his head reaches about the top of the table, watch out, there's a storm coming, because he'll get so bored he'll say,
"That's the stupidest idea I ever heard."
and so you have to watch out for Mike and the Mike barometer.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday.
Hi Mike, this is Donald from Zurich. I'm really sorry that I cannot be with you in person today. Nevertheless, I would like to congratulate. I hope that you're enjoying the big day for the big guy of big data. I'm glad that you're taking the day off in order to celebrate rather than work. Your competitors in industry and academia really appreciate it. Anyway, I wish you all the best, and I'm looking forward to continue working with you on Cider and all of these exciting opportunities in these great days. Have a great day, and bye.
Hi Mike, here's wishing you a belated happy birthday. We've known each other for 39 years now, since Sigma 1975, when, if I recall correctly, you were waiting for a tenure decision, and I was trying to finish a PhD thesis. It was almost a rather short friendship when you nearly broke your neck riding Ed Lazowska's bicycle down a steep hill one summer at UC Santa Cruz, when we were both doing short courses there in the late 70s. But I guess your biking skills have improved since then, since you seemed to do fine on a cross-country bike trip with Beth many years later. On a more serious note, I'd like to thank you for all your effort to promote the importance of database management to the computer science community, and for all your groundbreaking projects that continue to push us all in new and important directions. It's been a real pleasure and an honor knowing you, and for both our sakes, I'm looking forward to another 39 years of friendship. So all my best. Happy 70th.
Oh, Mike Stonebraker. Yeah, I've known Mike for years. He and I go way back together. Mike used to come down from Berkeley to visit me in the summer of 1982 when I was recording at Westlake. I remember that he would always wear the same red polo shirt every time I saw him. I think he was on sales calls for Ingress or something back then. This was when I was recording Thriller, and it really meant a lot to me that he would come and party with me. And I think that Mike and I were under the same amount of stress back then. Most people don't know this, but Mike Stonebraker actually wrote most of the lyrics to Beat It. He was really angry at the time about Oracle or some guy named Larry, and we couldn't give him writing credits or anything because then that meant we would have to give royalties to the university, and Mike said he didn't want them to get anything else from him. But then I didn't see Mike for a long time because he went back to Berkeley to build Postgres and he got married or something. You know how things get. It's not like he was mad at me, you can't say that. That's ignorant.
Some people ask me why I went into academia when there's so many opportunities in industry in computer science. What I tell people is that what I want most for my career is to make impact. And there are so many different opportunities one can leverage in academia to make impact. You can make impact through your research, through teaching, through service to your university, through advising graduate students, and also if you consult on the side, also through tech transfer. And I think this view I have of making impact in academia was really formed when I was a graduate student and spending time with Mike Stonebraker at MIT. And so seeing Mike's tremendous impact on the entire database research community, and also on many different universities in the Northeast, and of course also through the 3 companies he started while I was a PhD student. And what I think, however, is sort of the most underrated about Mike and the impact that he's had is actually the 4th dimension of impact that I mentioned before, his advising of graduate students. Honestly, Mike has had just a tremendous amount of impact on me, and just sort of thinking about the way I approach research, the way I find problems to work on, the way I sort of attack a problem and sort of find ways to solve a problem. And really, a lot of that comes from Mike Stonebraker. But what's great about Mike is that his advice doesn't just stop with just research. He also gives dating advice as well. When I was a student at MIT, he told me that I needed to approach my dating life in the sort of exact same way that I approach writing a Sigma-Model VLDB paper. What he said was that I need to sort of apply the same scientific rigor, the same focus and energy to my dating life as I do to writing papers. And when I graduated and moved to Yale, he told me that I wasn't going to find sort of girls to date in New Haven. So he told me that I needed to invest the time and money in an apartment in New York City and spent weekends there trying to find girls to date. And indeed, actually, by the end of my first year in New York, I had found a girl to date who ended up becoming my wife. So to summarize, Mike has solved both my personal and my professional problems. And without Mike, I'd probably be sad, alone, and submitting papers to pods. Happy birthday, Mike, and thanks for everything.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike.